Just do a quick safety talk for 1 minute, thanks. Basically, the water's freezing. It's cold. It's 2 degrees, so we're going to stay out of the water today. If you do fall in the water, I'll pick you up by your jackets. Okay, first of all, so keep them tight. I may use a throw bag, which is this yellow bag here. Anyone can use this. You just unclip it, throw it to the person in the water, pull them back in. If I fall in the water, you can take some photographs and have a laugh. And then someone up the front here, just pull this red cord. This red cord will stop the motor, so I can swim back a little easier. The ice is generally smooth to touch, but we'll get some pieces which are quite sharp, so just be careful, especially when they're big crystals. When the boat's still, you can move, stand up, move around, do all that. When we go fast, or even moving along really, just stay in your seats, thanks. That'll be good. And that's about it really.
Did you put the bung in?
Common sense, yeah, yep. That's a good one. Almost forgot one time. That's good.
Oh, I think we've got a banana on the boat. No, I think we're right.
This is the Lake Tasman, okay? This is some quick geography here. So, at the end of the lake we've got the glacier, which is in the middle in the valley there. So that's 27 kilometres long, approximately. We see about 10 kilometres of it now, straight up the valley there. What happens is it comes down for about 16, 17k. More freezing than melting, so it's solid white ice. Wow. And then it turns the corner here and crosses that fern line or melt line, and it's where it becomes different, a lot more melting than freezing. So the rock is actually built up on top, it's accumulated on top.
It's all about ice, isn't it?
Yeah, you go back 100 years, what you'd have is very high glacier there. You'd have by the lake, Rainwalls, that's how high the ice was 100 years ago. That high, rock and ice together, it would have been completely covering us as well, so it's stretched down here. Basically it's down wasted, melted from the top down. As it melts down, the rock slowly accumulates on top. So that moraine rock is probably, well, several metres thick in some stages, but probably averaging about 2 or 3 metres. And it's now protecting the ice below. That ice is about 30 metres above the water, down to 250 metres under the water there. So that's pretty much the terminal face of the glacier, straight down to the bottom of the lake. So we'll go down there later on and I'll explain more about how the icebergs carve off. But that's where all the icebergs come from. Carve off there, float around, blown by the south end. Ice turns to water, tunnels down through the ice, and eventually in 1975 Lake Tasman was born. So from that point onwards the lake's melted back into its own glacier, and year after year glacier gets smaller, icebergs carve off, lake gets longer. So 37 years has passed and the lake's about 7 kilometres long now, and the current rate of retreat is about 300 metres per year.
Yeah, but the climate's not changing, is it?
No. Well,
there's no evidence of that.
People go on about global warming. Righto. So, got icebergs, different shapes and colours, sizes. I'll explain more about that soon. Do you know how much ice we see above the water? How much under? Less than that? 10th, good one. 10% of the ice is above the water, 90% of the weight is under. Always is like that in the freshwater here. So if we're getting ice melt or carve above or below the water, weight's going to change and the iceberg must balance out.
So these are free floating icebergs?
Yeah, there's a good chance this one's grounded. So
3 metres is a pretty big wave.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you look up back where the trailers were parked,
Yeah.
sucked the trailers out.
Wow.
I mean, even if we get a rollover on the lake from the size of iceberg, we'll get a swell. Mixed swell, so it's going to break apart a lot easier. The rock attracts the heat, so it melts faster. You'll notice it's got quite a big overhang there on the ice.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a combination of the iceberg melting on top, breaking apart, and the iceberg lifting up. Also, the top part of the water here is the warmest part. That melts in around the ice, into the ice, up to a foot per day, and creates a thermal notch line. This one rolled over yesterday. You can see some of the ice on this side still quite clear. Should have been away from the sun quite a bit. Rotate it around. Ice pretty fragile here, slowly sort of carving off.